Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!
Welcome back to the Jenny McCarthy Show. You guys know how much I love Cobra Kai, the show that's back. Season 2 streaming on YouTube Premium now. All my friends are talking about it. We're just so grateful. I got to do the town hall with them. I didn't get to interview him, but now he's sitting across from me. Martin Kove is back on the show. Martin Kove, hi. Welcome to my show.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
You're a badass.
Well, just sometimes, it all depends on the script. But lately, up and down.
I know, but it's so fun growing up watching someone and then being like, wow, I was young going like, he's so scary. But I'm sure in real life you're a really nice guy, but it's still fun to play. I mean, I would think it would be fun to play a bad guy.
Well, it is. It's kind of fun if there's levels. Like my favorite bad guys years ago was this character, Klaus Maria Brandauer. He was a European actor. I think he was Swiss or German in the Bond movie. It just like he was so slippery, and it just was really interesting to watch people like that, or even Anthony Hopkins. You watch him doing Hannibal Lecter. It's like like
so the multiple levels makes it fun.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun.
Sometimes and then one note,
like Stefan Waltz, in Inglourious Bastards. Remember? Oh my God. He was like oozing all the time.
Oozing.
It's so just fun. But it's fun to play that,
So where are we at with John Kreese at the beginning of season 2 of Cobra Kai? Catch people up.
All right. Well, I guess everybody's seen pretty much a lot of it, so we can talk openly. I mean,
totally.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Nope.
But, John Kreese comes back, and, he comes back with the love of Cobra Kai, and he loves, he's the second father to, in a sense, the father that Johnny Lawrence never had. Mm-hmm. And he comes back to see his best student because he does love him, even though he's had 30 years of madness and, 30 years of where has John Kreese been? CIA, the KGB, or prison? Where has he been?
Do we know?
Well, you're going to learn a little bit more next coming season. And so he comes back and he finds that Cobra Kai is successful now and Johnny Lawrence is successful and he wants to play in the game. And the only thing he loves more than Johnny Lawrence is Cobra Kai and the integrity of Cobra Kai. So it leads into a lot of up and down emotional situations. And
I can imagine.
They wrote him very vulnerable and yet at the same time very dark.
So he maybe slips back into his old ways of wanting shortcuts and dirty tricks.
Yes.
Yes.
But he still cries at supermarket opening.
That was my favorite response ever. He still has demons inside of him,
yes.
Even though he's trying. Out of all the Karate Kid movies, which was your favorite?
Well, the first one was, I loved it. The third one was written for me as a vehicle, and then I couldn't do it because I got a TV series called Hard Time on Planet Earth. So I segued in from like 6 years of Cagney and Lacey being able to do these movies, and the third one came along, and, I couldn't do it because I got something on CBS on Disney. But, the first one, no one knew what to expect. We didn't even like the title Karate Kid. It was like a Bruce Lee movie.
Right.
And then it evolved. And I guess I remember at the time my wife went to see it, and I was out of town doing something in Eugene, Oregon. And I said, how was the movie? She went to the premiere with my son. And she said, it was great. The movie was great. And I said, well, how was I? She says, yeah, you're okay.
No.
Honestly, that's exactly what it was. And I said, really? And I didn't get to see the movie till a couple of months later. And then, you watch a movie generate, and I never knew how much it meant to so many people until years later, And I was at, where was I? I was here. I was at the Chiller autograph show, first autograph show I'd ever gone to with the cast of Last House on the Left, a movie I did in 1972. Wes Craven's first movie.
Wow.
And none of the other cast members were selling their pictures. And I had never gone to an autograph show before. But I had a slew of Karate Kid pictures. And all these kids would come up with T-shirts with my face on it and No Mercy and Sweep the Leg and knew all my dialogue. And that was probably 15 years after the movie came out.
That's amazing.
Then I realized how impressed the world was with Mark Kamen's script.
Yep.
You know?
And do people still come up to you and say things like "sweep the leg" or do you still get those lines thrown at you?
Absolutely.
Does it drive you nuts? Or you live with it?
No, it's fun. I mean, I still have a good time with the fans, and you know, Billy and I and Ralph, we have a great time. We do a lot of panels, and you know, we've known each other for a long time, and we play with it all. You know, I'll tell you a great story. I was at the Comic-Con in Atlanta, Dragon Con, and Billy couldn't go, and Ralph and I was sitting on the back of a convertible, and there's 60,000 people in this parade on the streets, screaming, yelling, 10 deep, and they're all screaming, "Sweep the leg, No Mercy." And Ralph turns to me, he says, "You know, I'm the star of this movie, and no one ever screams, wash on, wax on, wax off," you know? And we cracked up because he's right. No one ever does. But you know, you don't get tired of it because you realize how much this movie meant to so many fans.
Yeah.
And these writers who write Cobra Kai, they saw the movie when they were 6. And they have been creating and recreating in their heads to make Cobra Kai, which is now the most watched digital streaming show in the world.
Oh, I'm so glad I have the chills for you guys.
Unbelievable.
You deserve it.
Thank you. The only thing watched more was Game of Thrones, and that was a network show.
Wow. That's something to be really proud of. I got to say, my husband, Donnie Wahlberg, dressed up as you for Halloween a couple years ago.
I saw the picture, and you were a Cobra Kai girl.
I was.
God, I wish Cobra Kai looked like you.
You needed different sizes, that's for sure. I don't think they were skin tight like the ones I was wearing. So how has John Kreese's relationship with Johnny changed in Cobra Kai?
Well, it started off rough, and then slowly, I mean, I can give it away. Slowly, he follows me to a shelter. He thinks I'm staying at the Sheraton Universal, and I'm telling him things are wonderful with me. But then ultimately he finds out and follows me and sees that I'm really down and out. Oh. And those are the scenes that these writers wrote that are brilliant. And, you know, I signed on so I could play vulnerability, that I could play up and down.
Vulnerability. Then you have color.
You know, exactly. You have texture, you have color. And they said they'd write it that way. And you come in and you set up season 2 by your appearance, you know, at the end of season 1. And everything they've said, everything that they've perceived to happen has happened. You know, they're really smart, and John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg and Josh Heald. You know, it's rare to work in Hollywood for people, as you know, who really are sincere and tell the truth. And are smart enough to perceive the future the way it does play out. It's cats.
People that get it. They get it.
They get it. You know, they get the writing, they get the characters, and they've written me beautifully, you know, in season 2. Season 3, I mean, God's the only person that knows what's in season 3, you know, because I don't know anything, you know. And but I know it's interesting. You know, I know it's interesting because these people, they wrote Hot Tub Time Machine, they wrote Harold and Kumar, and they sold all 3 of us on that series and our participation because they knew our characters better than we did.
Right. And taking it to the next level. Like they knew they could see in the future, and vulnerability is everything. Yeah. I love playing that. You're in the new Quentin Tarantino movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Can you tell us about that?
Well, working for Quentin is just the best. I mean, you know, he's someone who knows everything you've ever done forever, because he worked in a video store and he saw every movie that was ever shot. His
dialogue, though, is art. So when you look at his dialogue, does he make you stay on point, or does he say sometimes throw away the dialogue and do something that you'd like to?
He lets you go. He lets you go. You know, I'm a big Western advocate. I really want, you know, to rejuvenate the Western. I just feel that, you know, years ago, from 1920 to 1967, one of every movie that one of every film that came out of Hollywood was a Western. So it's a real overexposed genre. And the trick is now to get a Western that the kids can adhere to, because I believe when I took my kids, they were 12, and Kevin, he sent a car over, come to Disney, come to this premiere of Open Range. And there was a movie without action. That was a movie that had action at the beginning and at the end. And my kids were 12, and they just locked in because of the character development, because of the writing. And I'm trying to do the same thing that Kevin was able to do in Open Range and create a Western, create a movie that kids who don't know the Western like you and I
right
will, or Donnie. I mean, he was brought up on, he's of the age group where he was brought up on Westerns. And
totally.
And I know Mark digs Westerns, but nobody makes them. So, I don't know how I veered off on the original question.
No, that's okay. We're talking about Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, and so Quentin just loves Westerns, and I didn't get to work in Hateful Eight or Django, and I drove him crazy to do that. And then, I said to him at the party that preceding I was offered a role in it, and then we had the party preceding the movie, and I walked up to him and I said, Quentin, I said, did you give me this part because I've been driving you crazy for 2 years to be in a movie, in a Western, or in a film with you, or because I'm hot from Cobra Kai? And he takes a long pause, and he says, a little bit of both.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, and were you happy with that answer? I hope?
He's such a great filmmaker. I mean, here it is. You finish your time in the sets. It's the end of the day, and he says, I think I got it. But I want one more. And he's talking about takes.
Yep.
He turns around to the crew of 100 people, faces them, and he says, and why? And all the people in unison scream, because we love to make movies.
No way!
And
that's so cool.
That's how much you love working for this guy, because he just loves what he does. And today, the movie premieres in Cannes. Today.
Wow. I'm so happy for you, and I'm going to have to write that down. Bug Quentin Tarantino, and then do a successful TV show. Okay, good.
But you'll have an easier time than me. I mean,
I highly doubt it. Martin Kove, you are a delight to talk to. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Your career is just obviously unstoppable. I'm looking forward to watching this and many more. Come back anytime, Martin.
Well, thank you very much.
I really appreciate it. It was fun talking to you. We'll be right back here.
Jenny McCarthy Show. Oh!